Yo, welcome to the Floating Dojo. Thanks for hanging out. We're going to be going over some Scurv gameplay today and his companion, Sticky Fingers. If you like the content and the kind of decks we've been making and playing on here, feel free to drop a like or a comment or subscribe and let me know what you want me to play in the future. Thanks so much for stopping out. Let's get into the deck tech. So we run in Rainbow Pummel in this deck. That does require the cost 2 or greater. So we're running a couple cost 2 or greater cards for attacks. So we're trying to just pump out decent damage and pummel with them, basically. So we have Crash Down the Gates, Money Your Life, which is a super crazy card in Scurv. It says when you hit a hero, deal 2 damage to them unless you give them a gold token. If you're a thief, repeat this process once. So Scurv is a thief, which means if you hit them with a red Money or Your Life, you are dealing 6, then dealing 2, then dealing 2, because most heroes don't just have gold innately. Which means this is a 3-card 10 kind of threatened. Counter that with a pummel. Now you're coming in for 10, hitting them for 10, taking a card from their hand and dealing 4, which is a 14 damage swing off of 2 blues. It's a 4-card 14, but you also take a card out of their hand, so you're talking 17, 18 value. And that's only if you have 4 cards. If you have an arsenal, this could be even better. So this card is a awesome card in the deck. I run it in red and yellow. Yellow purely because we are running this card called Seafloor Salvage, where if we can flip a yellow card, we make a gold token. It could be nice in our extra blue hands, and making an extra gold powers up that Scurv ability that we'll get into in a little bit. We're also running Swiftwater Sloop, the 2 power costs. It also gives us 2 or more blue cards. It gives it go again. So pitching a blue for Sloop, you have 1 floating. You use another blue to pitch to pummel. Now you have 2 cards in the pitch zone, 2 blues. You have 2 floating. You get to pummel the Swift into 10. Then your 2 floating, you can swing our beautiful Talishar here for 4. So really cool interactions with getting the go again a little bit later in the reaction step. Same with other cards such as what other card needs 2 or more? Oh, Battalion Bark. I mean, usually you have to pitch 2 blues anyway to this to get it to do that. But it's a good blue. It's a cool blue to have. Some other cards that we could be pummeling here, technically Rally the Coast Guard. This is more meant for blocking. This just blocks for 5 with another card in hand, which is pretty good. You can pair this up with cards like Sirens to be able to discard this, gain a life, and block for 5, so you're getting 6 value, which makes about 3 blocks, which is pretty cool. We also have Wage Gold. Wage Gold is a super solid 3 for 7. The other reason I really like Wage Gold is why I also like this deck with Sticky Fingers, this little octopus boy. Our octopus boy here has that when he attacks, he steals a gold token that they control. So when we have Scurv, we make a gold early somehow, or we get an attack that is go again. You destroy a gold, you create a Gold Kiss Rum. Gold Kiss Rums give attacks go again, so you can use it this way. And then you get a resource. But what I like to do here is we have this card called Sloop here. And Sloop states that if there are 2 or more blue cards, your pitching gets go again. So what you can do is you can use cards like Wonder Where Your Mouth Is here. We can wager with Sloop, get it go again, and then if they block the attack out with Money Where Your Mouth Is, it says that when you attack with here, you may wager a gold. If they win the wager and make the gold, that's fine, because we'll just come in after with Sticky Fingers and we'll attack for 2 and we'll steal the gold back. So it's kind of like a way to just guarantee you're going to get the gold from the wager. You can also wage gold for 3 with go again from Scurv's Gold Kiss Rum. Make the Gold Kiss Rum, activate it, play a wage gold, come in for 7. They block it, they make a gold, you then attack with Sticky Fingers and you steal the gold from them. So it basically is like a one-time free gold gen where you don't have to worry about winning the wager or not. It's just you just get the gold regardless of what you do, which is super cool. So the other way that you can get extra blues in your pitch zone, because sometimes you don't draw all blues or you just need ways to get more blue in there, and we're running 20 of them. So, but what I have in here are cards like Saltwater Swell and Shifting Tides. So both of these will force pitching. So Saltwater Swell states if it attacks, you'll be able to top card of your deck. If it's blue, you pitch it. So you can attack with this pitching a blue, then pitch a top card if it's blue. Now you have 2 in your pitch zone. This has go again, which now means that your Sloops are going to have go again, or your Battalion Bark is going to get pumped up. And it also just gives you free resources so that you can do other big attacks after that swell if you didn't have the resources for them eventually. A little bit of a gamble, but when you can do things on your turn before, like block with On the Horizon or Test of Strength, and you can see the top card of your deck, you can kind of know what's on the top, so you can know whether or not this will trigger and this will work. So it takes like that gambling out, and it kind of just becomes a play you can do. We also run things like, and so Shifting Tide, sorry. That was the Swell was the first one, but Shifting Tide's our other card here. This takes at the beginning of the turn, pitch the top card of your deck. Doesn't matter if it's blue, red, yellow. But if it is blue, then this goes back on the bottom of the deck. So it just recurs itself. But it does force a pitch, which again can give you extra resources on a card on a turn that you need them. So if you have extra blues in your hand on a turn, you have Shifting Tides, you can just play it out, give you resources for the next turn so that you can block a little bit more if necessary, and still hope that you can do something. We also have this card from Heavy Hitters. It's a rare, which is pretty cool. It's called Down But Not Out. So if you meet all these criteria, you just get +3 overpower when it hits, create all these things. And it's kind of hard to get all of these criteria to trigger. But it's a good blue. It blocks for 3. Sometimes it can be relevant. And we're running a lot of blues, so paying for that 3 isn't usually that difficult. Especially if you just pitch it away early. So some of the equipment we're running with this deck to make it operate well is cards like Deep Blue. So we can just take a hand where we have extra reds, and we can put one on the bottom, gain 3 resources, and use those resources to pummel or swing a big attack if we need to. So it's kind of a get-out-of-jail-free card, which is nice. We're also running Fisticuffs. This is a sneaky way to make Sloop trigger, because you can attack with it, and then Fisticuffs to give it +1, and now there's 2 blue cards in your pitch zone if you pitch the blue, so now you have Go Again. So now it comes in for 7 and Go Again, which is it's just a kind of another way to trigger the Go Again on there, another way to put more cards in your pitch zone. It also can just, if you have extra blues, it's just a +1 to any attack, so they have to kind of respect it sometimes when you're blocking. Because this +1 can trigger on this, making this hit, it deals 4 extra damage. So that +1 actually means 5 value for you, which is pretty good. I'm also rocking Ironhide Helm and Legs. A lot of people are running the Blade Beckoners. I kind of like the Ironhide Helms because I have so many blues that I can pitch away a 2 blue card and throw that in here, and it just blocks efficiently that way. It's kind of just a preference choice. You can run Blade Beckoners here. I think it's totally fine. It's just preference. And Talishar is the only weapon that he can run. It comes in for 4, costs 2. You can attack with it 3 times, and then it goes away. So, use it on the go wide turns or mid-late game to take cards in their hand, and works pretty well. Because there's just no other card that you can use for a weapon right now for Scurv, which is fine. One card I have been also messing around with considering is blue Battlefield Bastion for those aggro matchups. It could be really nice to have a little extra prevention coming in later when those go wide chains. But right now I just have Golden Tipple in here. Sometimes I have an extra yellow pummel or money in your life or something, and I can discard it and draw a card, get gold. It's pretty cool. I may switch this out for Bastion or a 3-block of sorts. I'm not totally sure yet, but I don't know if I'm super sold on this card in this slot, but for now it's just kind of hanging out there. Sideboard, Polarity, Oasis Respite, and then the Null Rune set for Wizards and Rune Blades that run Arcane. So it's a pretty cool deck. I like a lot of the attack reaction style stuff, and this card honestly sold me on this deck alone. And just having the sneaky ways to make Sloop work with Fisticuffs and stuff like that I think it's cool interaction, and I think it's fun to play cool decks in Silver Age. So I hope you like the deck tech on it. It was pretty quick. There wasn't too much to go into. It's a pretty straightforward deck, but we're going to get into some gameplay, and I hope you stick around and check it out and see how it goes. He's leading off here with a Throttle for 6. On the other hand, we got mostly 2 blocks, all 2 blocks, unfortunate. But I think we're going to do here is we're going to block with the Rally and then activate its ability, discarding the Sirens to gain the health here. Just going to put us up to 21. We'll take a damage, but evens back out to 20 like nothing ever happened. So I like the line. That's a nice little block line we can do there. Just blocking with a T-bone. Just block with the deep blue here. And I think I'm okay taking one. I'm gonna guess they're just gonna play an item and pass, or nope, just gonna end. Okay, that's cool with me. So nice. We got a nice little sloop money where your mouth is, dumping that out. That doesn't trigger, so we can do anything with that. We're running fisticuffs, which is a cool way to give sloop go again and to create 2 blues in that pitch zone. But I don't think we're going to need to do that here. I think what I'd rather do, because this will cost 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. We only have 6 resources. So I was thinking we could go money where our mouth is into a Swiftwater sloop. Fisticuffs it to go up to 10, and then swing Talishar. We have another resource, but we could sticky fingers here, but they don't if it doesn't hit. And then steal it back from them, which could be kind of cool. So I think we're gonna go for that and see what happens here. Because we're gonna wager it. If it doesn't hit, that's fine, because then we can sticky fingers steal it back. Which is kind of the cool part with this here ability, with this ally, because we can make gold, force them to generate gold by having them block out wagers and stuff, and then he just steals it for us. So it doesn't matter. So we get the gold no matter what happens here, which is pretty nice. Most of the time you have to guarantee the hit on it, but here we're just gonna, make it happen. I was only blocking 3, blocking 6, blocking 9 total. So we could fisticuffs here early and it'll go over. So I think we will. Go up to 10, go again. It does hit, so we don't have to worry about that. What we're just gonna do though is, because that went over, I think I'm gonna turn this into a rum and then just pass. Not a huge win really off the arms for a big wide swing, but I like the move. And a no block in hand, which is pretty nice. 4, go again, can't be defended by equipment. I'm okay taking 4 here because we're going to try money on their life in the pummel, which would be a pretty nice turn. Let's see what they do. They're just going to pass again, I'm assuming. Yeah, I'm guessing they have an item in arsenal. We could activate Scurv, gain a resource, then we can go 2 floating and then pummel, and then we'll have go again. So I think we'll do that. Then we can pummel, have 2 floating to Talishar after, which will be pretty nice. The nice thing about this too is if this hits, this triggers twice for us as or a thief, which is an extra 4 damage on top. So this is really representing 9. Or yeah, with the pummel it becomes even more. So they're going to do that twice. They're going to go discard a card, then they're going to drop down to 7, drop down to 5. And we'll Talishar for 4. So that puts them to 1, and they force a card out of their hand. He's going to get the value out of the blocking equipment there, which is fine. Now, really, all we got to do is hopefully we draw something that we can... Nice. So this Crash on the Gate is great. The odds that we hit something are pretty good because they have a lot of items in deck. So hopefully we can block 4, block 3, 4. And I'm just going to on the horizon here. Block the 4 early. Save the equipment for later. It's going to C4 salvage on top. That's fine. That'll trigger with our money on our life or your life later. So that's cool. Let's pitch into the Cogworks, gain some resources. I wonder if he's got like a throttle or something, which we aren't too worried about at the moment. Excuse me. Oh, the Sprocket Rocket. I think it's probably safe to go to 11 here. They have a red boom off the top or something, then we're looking at... I know they pitched one earlier. We'd be going down 8, we want a 7, and they have a card here. We could hold on to the... I think it's okay for us to hold, because I mean... Yeah, I think we're going to hold the card here and just hope they don't have one off the top. Not much we can do if they do, and they don't. Okay, yeah, going to 11 I think is fine here. Ah, it was a good bait. Great bait, because this blocks 4, gets +2, goes to 6. We take 3. Or we just block 3 here. Stay at 10, and then hopefully this comes in for 8, which is a pretty nice swing, considering they don't have anything going on there. So unless they got a red throttle on top, this should trigger, which is pretty cool. But they can also instant a mechanologist item out real quick off the top to try and find a better card. And it's not. So 8 here is pretty good, I think, considering all things. We still have the equipment block available to stop that boom grenade next turn, which can cover up 2 breakpoints, which is pretty nice, pretty nifty. They're probably going to have to give us 2 cards here, so unless they have like a 0 cost 4 into the weapon, we should be. I mean, that's that worst case. We still technically live through all that, which is block on these. So they just give me the whole hand to block it out, which is cool with me because that just gives us super big tempo. Ooh, draw the red pummel too. It's gross. We're just gonna let that hit because this turn's gonna be pretty nice. A deep blue, and we're gonna put this H gold on the bottom so that we can crash down for free, basically, because that's going to give us 3 resources. I like running deep blue in this deck where I have a lot of 3-powered attack because it makes all of your extra reds work. So on a 2-red hand, you can still make the pummel happen. Or a 3-red hand, technically. You can make the pummel happen. Another item off the top. See what they hit. Getting a blocking card is not, so 8 again, but we have the pummel, so it's really 12. If they don't full block this, if they don't block at least 9, we just win. And I think in this game you really can't play around pummel because you just lose. You have to just accept that if they have it, they have it, right? And then, yeah, we did. I did another no block there, which is how it goes sometimes. We threatened. Average 14.5 value. That's pretty good in this game mode. Threatening some pretty big numbers here. 46 over 4 turns. So super solid game. Really enjoyed it. And thanks for checking it out. All right. We are back with more Scurv gameplay. Silver Age going into an Ira here. This is definitely a tough match for other aggro matchups. I think they chose to go first, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so that's fine. They pitch a Horizon and are looking for a scrap. And I'm actually going to block with some extra weird yellow cards here because I have this Sleep 4 salvage available, which means next turn I can guarantee a gold, which is sick. We also both gain health from Sirens, so he's not gaining any extra value over us. We're both starting at 21, which is cool. So yeah. Dope. Let's see what we draw here. Wow. I guess we'll start with that. Flip that over. Part of me wants to literally draw a card off this gold because this is horrendous. We could block like low with something else. But also, we could set up with a gold kiss for later. So I think we'll do that. I think we're gonna play Shifting Tides and then double red for. It's kind of a bummer to see both of those right now. I mean, it'd be really good into their next turn, but you can't Arsenal them, and it kind of clunks up my hand. So my other option is just to overpitch one, not Arsenal, and keep one in hand, which just feels worse. So this game goes later in the second cycle, and we see both of these back to back. Could be kind of nice for a good blocking hand. Scar for a Scar and a Bluster buff blocks. So that's cool. Just gonna pass, and hopefully we draw a blue off the top for the next turn with the Shifting Tides. Full blue hand. decent. A card I've been trying to consider for this has been Bastion, the blue Bastion, to counter the Kodachis a little better. But we're not doing that yet. We'll take one here. We don't have a crazy good turn at the moment. But with the go again, could maybe do something here. I'm just holding cards. I think I have this rally to block with if we need to get the value. So we'll see what they're... And they're just coming in with a Bluster Bluff for 5 to close this out because they can't pay for the 1. So we're going to block with that, and we'll do the rally ability. We'll just get rid of the Tipple. That's fine. We'll cover up 5. Ah, man, there's a third block. Unfortunate on the timing with that. Jeez. I really don't love any of this. Unfortunately, this is just not... there's a blue there. Wish that was a blue, because we would have 2 in there and Sloop would have go again. Fair enough. I'm just going to swing that again so I can arsenal the Sloop. I really would love to have an ability to go a little wider in a future turn. So, see what we can draw. We're drawing a yellow pummel on this. Alright. Yeah, not the best hand. That was a pretty rough all blue hand. Part of me thinks we could have just blocked a little better and just done nothing with it, but can't always get away with it. We'll take this first one. I usually don't block the first Kodachi regardless. I'm going to go 20 turns. But it's good value, and that's just what they want. So, block with the Iron Head here. Pitch 1 for it. One floating. Could be fake projecting an Oasis here, which is fine. Pay 1 there. Cover that up. Dang, it's pretty good. So we could block out fully here, or we could take 5, go to 12 to swing, hopefully 8, blow up the top card of their deck. Isn't like... I mean, the 2 cards out of hand and their whole equipment suite would stop it for 8, and that really doesn't do that much for me. Or I just block 5 here, and we try and hopefully they just don't draw anything crazy, or they draw some blocks. We kind of want to stay aggressive. I'm going to gamble here. This might be the wrong play, but we're going to gamble, and we're going to deal some damage. They get go again from that. They could blow up their equipment to do another attack for 2, but I don't think they're going to. Oh, he's going to draw that gold. That's smart. Yeah, because if I had blocked with it, I could have swung with Sticky Fingers, pulled the gold, and then Arsenal. That could have been a better play. I kind of didn't think about Sticky Fingers, that possibility, if they didn't let him hit it. Oh, and of course he has a 6 on top, which was the second humble. He had one last turn too. So that's a bummer for us. We really needed that not to be a 6 power attack, but it was. That is okay. There's a 4 block here. That's nice. Yeah, these Kodachis, man, they just eat us up. Unfortunately. Yeah, I think blocking that attack out is probably better. And I figured, yeah, he has the humble. And we have a 5. It's fine. We can activate our Gold Kiss and steal that gold, which is solid. So that's what we'll probably do here. Because we get a free source from that. So we'll activate him here. Get a free resource. We get go again on our next action. So I think we're gonna just swing this wage gold for 7. Yeah, we'll wager. That's fine, because we'll just snatch it up. It's probably just gonna come in and kill Sticky Fingers, but that's okay. I'm just down to have the resource, the gold available, I think. So we'll pull, yeah. Probably not gonna have too crazy of a turn. I know he's got another humble, so he has the second humble available. See if he blocks with it or not. Does not. Okay. So we'll just steal that gold. Do a little damage. This blue sloop has been kind of in our arsenal. I really wish we didn't. We drew very awkwardly at the beginning of this game, drawing a full blue hand that didn't really do anything. And then a double block hand, which didn't do anything either. So, but they're maybe just looking for a blue so they can Kadachi off of it. We'll see. Okay, they're just making the tiger here. Probably just at Sticky Fingers, right? And then they just pass. Yeah, that makes sense. Can't do anything about that, unfortunately. Just let them die. And then we'll see what they come with us after. I'm guessing they drew a blue. Oh, no, another red. For 2. What do we got here? That's fine. We'll take 2. We'll go down to 9. We have this deep blue available, which I might actually use. Yeah, might use that. Oh, never mind. Looks like he's got another. Ugh, so much damage. I think we just gotta block 4. If we block 2 here, we can deep blue this for 3. Use it to pay for that. Oh no, he's still gonna be able to attack. Deep blue this. Pay for that. We have 1 floating, and then we can pummel it for 8, and they discard. Maybe that's pretty good. Hopefully that's pretty decent. I don't have any resources or anything to use that Bittering Thorns on, so that's fine. It'd be cool if we had a blue here. We just don't. We're just gonna put that on the bottom. Use it to play that. They probably just block a card. Or, yeah, they block with a 4. Nice. We make a gold off that. That's cool. Just gonna pummel here. Goes us to 8. Discard. Did a little extra damage over the top. Get rid of a blue. They probably just had extra blue, so it's not like a big deal. Alright. This is the part of the game that gets kind of hard, where we're gonna have to. I probably should have Scurved last turn to make a go again attempt, but maybe we can just draw some blues. Okay. We're going to Scurv. Sloop. 6 go again and do a crash down the gates. It's pretty sick. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a nice, fully high damage turn, or maybe take a little tempo. We'll see. Yeah, probably should have Scurved that last turn. So would I go again? We could have maybe drawn a card, gone from there. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Depends on their blocks. He just blocks 2. He's probably got an Oasis, right? Surely he has Oasis in Arsenal. Oh no, Somersault. Pretty good card too. I think we can Scurv here. And then crash on the gates for... Man, another 6 on top. That is back-to-back times. Unfortunate for us, for sure. That's not much. There's just nothing we can do about that. Well-timed D-react on his end, and then we just whiff all of our top decks there. It's a bit of a bummer. Oh. Did not mean to hit pass. I was going to fisticuffs, because we can do fisticuffs there. We might as well get the value out of it now. Just to do the thing. Get rid of that Wreck Havoc. And then, yeah, here we go. We're just going to pass. Okay. I think... Oh, man, if only we had one more blue, you know? One more blue. Probably just pitch this into that and swing for 10. I'm not going to wager for this one. We don't need another goal at the moment. We have one. We'll just swing 9, and hopefully they don't have 4 3 blocks. Oh, they have it on the horizon, though. Good. We could have gone about that a little differently. Just going to go to 1 here. Unfortunately. I think they just have another D-react in Arsenal. I think they have the second somersault, which is unfortunate. We're just going to activate that, play the money or your life, pitching a blue here. 6. And then we can actually play another one. Probably better. The other option we have is maybe we just get lucky and we fatigue them, right? Maybe they just run out of cards. I highly doubt that happens. The aggro matchup for this deck is really hard sometimes, and they just have so much. They overblocked, which is cool. Money or your life again for 5. And we'll see. They probably have a springboard somersault in here. So they probably just take they take it all. Cool. I'm curious what they have in the arsenal because they've just been holding it there. Alright, back to our good blocks at least. That's cool. Kind of sucks we have to block with 3s on those, but block on the horizon. It's a Sirens. That's cool. Kind of feels like a waste blocking that big. Attack. Full block. Can't do anything about that. And then goes to their turn. We're going to have to just full on pass our turn. And they probably just catch us here now, though, with all of the awkward blocks. We have to block Kadachi's out, and Kadachi locking just kind of gets us. I think in this matchup, we just have to try to draw Disruption fast enough to be able to outpace their aggro output. And yeah, he's got the second looking for a scrap again as well. So that's just going to be most likely game there. We also missed both of our Crash on the Gates. We hit 6 powers on the top of their deck both times. Little unlucky. It would have been an extra 4 value on top because they're only running, I think, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're running 8 of them. I mean, it's like not crazy, 10 maybe max, which I mean, like is a 25% of your deck, so it's not terrible odds, but they do run a lot of blues and a lot of D-reacts and a lot of blocks, so like the odds aren't terrible for us to hit that. But whiffing both of those is kind of rough. We also get the double block cards early, and then kind of full brick blue hand going second, which is a little unfortunate. Wasn't super upset with the matchup though. I mean, I think we played it pretty well. I valued out pretty decently. We're looking at about 12 value. They just had a little higher. I mean, they output 61 over the turns. But they also just had a lot of really strong blocking hands. They give them good value early on. we kind of also had some decent value early, but we had our value late. But the problem was by then, we're already so far behind in health that it doesn't really matter. They're able to hold on to it early enough. We kind of have to get a little more disruption a little earlier on to make that better. But overall, super solid game. Hope you guys enjoyed. Y'all, thank you so much for checking out those videos. Hope that was a good explanation of the way the deck kind of operates and some different matchups. That first one against the Dio went really well. Cards came at a good time. We had some good blocks, and everything kind of lined up well for us. That match with the Ira, there's a couple little misplays, I think, some missed Scurv opportunities, as well as possibly using Sticky Fingers a little earlier to get some more value to stop the gold to give them that Arsenal card. And then the deck didn't really line up for us super well, which is like, it happens sometimes. It's the way it goes. But I hope you guys enjoyed the matches and enjoyed the gameplay regardless. I hope you guys stick around for future videos. And if there's any heroes you want to see played, or you have any questions, feel free to drop them into the video, and I'll try and respond to them as quick as I can. We'll see you guys next time.